That's Nick.
And that's Joseph. And today we're here to talk about Fantasy Island. Or what is, I guess, colloquially known as Blumhouse's Fantasy Island, which opens on February 14th, 2020. Is a bit of a Valentine's Day fare for you, courtesy of Sony Pictures.
It's directed by
Jeff Wadlow, who also directed Blumhouse's Truth or Dare in 2018, which I did not see, Kick-Ass 2, and Cry Wolf, a horror film from 2005.
I remember the TV series.
From 1977.
That's Ricardo Montalban.
And Hervé Villechaize.
Who's the little person.
Yes. Tattoo,
who would say the plane. Mm-hmm. That's all I remember. I don't know that I actually ever watched an episode. So I don't know if the premise is the same. No. It isn't? Okay.
No, this is a horror remake.
So the TV series was more like actual like fantasy fun.
I don't recall that.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Horror.
This film
is a horror soap opera.
Okay.
That's all I can think of.
Try to describe the story.
A group of strangers arrive on Fantasy Island to live out their to live out one fantasy, and per the rules of the island, they have to follow that fantasy to whatever its logical conclusion is.
Okay. And
of course, this film probably should have been called "Be Careful What You Wish For," because everything goes to hell in a handbasket.
I feel like I was catfished watching this movie, because I don't know why anyone would want someone to watch it and then give their feedback about it, because I'm going to say I think this will be the worst movie I watched in 2020.
Oh, well, we got a while to go still.
I just don't know how anything could be worse than what I just watched.
It was a soap opera. It's so in the cast we have Lucy Hale, who is from Pretty Little Liars, and of course Truth or Dare, which I guess
was she the main one?
Yeah, with the eyebrows.
The one who looks like a skinny Khloe Kardashian.
I thought she looked like a Jenner. Oh yeah, same. She looked at
family.
She was that ilk.
Yeah.
Plays Melanie, and she wants to. Her fantasy is to have revenge on a high school bully, played by Portia Doubleday. And then there's Austin Stowell, who I just saw in Swallow.
Which one is he?
He's the one who wants to be the soldier.
Oh, okay.
His teeth look different in Swallow.
His teeth look interesting in this movie.
Because this filmed in Fiji in early 2019, so...
Oh, maybe he got a check and then got his teeth fixed?
Maybe.
Okay. I did the same.
But it doesn't make... Because Swallow premiered in Tribeca in 2019, so I don't know when he had time to do that.
Doesn't take long.
It doesn't matter either. Maggie Q, who's, beautiful.
Which one is she?
She's the one who wanted the husband and child.
She's beautiful. I hated those highlights, but she is beautiful.
You kept making fun of how she tossed her hair to this.
Yeah, and all this distress, she was always like... somehow that hair was bouncy. And
she's probably well known for she's in Divergent series with Shailene Woodley.
Okay.
And she was in Mission Impossible 3. Ryan Hansen is Bradley, and his brother Jimmy O Yang was Brax. And we also just saw them together in a very similar...
Oh, and
Like a Boss.
Like a Boss, that's right. So they're like a duo.
I guess.
They come as a package.
I
hope there's a discount if you get two of them, because...
And then, of course, as the man that's the crazed private investigator hiding out on the island, played by Michael Rooker. And then
Damon.
Oh, and then Michael Peña as Mr. Roarke, who I guess is supposed to be the Ricardo Montalban kind of.
I don't know what to say, because this film felt like one of those straight to DVD or Redbox like bootleg Saw type movies.
Yeah, it's
but except it had a budget, but equally as dumb.
It'll remind you of a ton of Saw. I thought of a couple times, or Westworld, or Cabin in the Woods, or all of those things. But much you're giggling under your breath so much during this film.
I was so frustrated. This film was so all over the place.
It's so corny.
There are no rules. It's just like from one scene to the next, like something happens that doesn't really make sense. I have so many questions that I'm not even going to bring up, because I don't think it's worth the energy. I think this movie's terrible.
It is, which is why the press screening is the day before and the embargo is the morning of the theatrical release. So I don't think anyone has high hopes for this film except for as Valentine's Day counter programming. But yeah. As I was watching it, I'm like, oh, I'm like this. There's no point bringing it up. Like, none of it makes sense. I will say Michael Peña is like miscast. Yes. Well, he's trying to do a voice.
I don't know what kind of voice he's trying to do. I expected that character to be a little more debonair. His love interest is a woman who's way too beautiful to
yes. Who is given this like Sisyphean fate of having to die over and over again.
There are components that could have been interesting. This could have been like a cabin in the woods type, but it's just it is. I don't know who wrote this. Who wrote this?
Jillian, along with the director, Jillian Jacobs and Christopher. I can't even read my writing.
Well, I'm going to make another bold statement. I feel like Tyler Perry could have done a better job writing this story than
I think it would have been
and Christopher.
I think it would have been on par with the quality of this.
But it's not even fun, and it's not even that dramatic. It is like a soap opera without any like zhuzh.
Oh, it's so cheesy, and you know
there are like doppelgangers at one like towards the end.
There are many unexplained
things. There are no rules.
You know what else I noticed? Like some of the characters' names listed on IMDb are different from the actual names of the because we just saw it. Like Michael Rooker is credited as somebody else, and clearly his name is Damon. Like we just watched it.
I bet this film was like recut at the last minute because. Maybe test audience. I don't understand what I just watched. I don't understand what it's trying to be. It's not really horrific. It's not like actiony. It's not thrilling.
No, I thought it was very tedious. But
the main girl is so annoying. She's there's no redemption.
At one point, as you figure it, in this, I guess, sure is a spoiler that they are all united. All these strangers are not actually strangers, and you find out that maybe it's somebody else's revenge fantasy all along.
Well, so the purpose of Fantasy Island is people go and their fantasies are made into reality. So each of these characters you just described go on, and then that's the other thing. Some of their fantasies, like the one with the husband and the daughter. Like hers seemed very like wholesome and she seemed safe, but then the other ones are literally like someone's trying to kill them, and then another one's being like torturing someone. Yeah, it's just so all over the place.
And then you have to constantly shuffle in between each one of them, and although it's not in the same rhythm, but it becomes very tedious right away. And for just a glimmer of a moment, I'm like, okay, this could be interesting because I can't quite predict what's happening as we come to understand they're all going to be woven together somehow, and then
This is like one of those books from when I was like 10 or 11 where you choose your own ending, but then it's like...
I never read those books. I thought those were tacky and gross.
Well, I'm not going to say that, except that this film isn't even that like fun because
no, it's not fun.
It's all over the place. So many things are happening, but none of them are that... So I don't feel invested because the main character is a horrible person.
And was there anything that you did like about this movie?
I thought it was like it's shot nicely. Like I liked how it looked.
It was shot by Toby Oliver.
It looked expensive.
Who did Get Out, which is a Blumhouse film, and Happy Death Day. So we're stuck. We're very contained in the Blumhouse band here of making cheap, effective horror films that sometimes are decent. But you know what? The real problem here is this fucking script.
Well, this video cannot be more than 10 minutes. Okay, so what would you give it?
This gets 0.5. That's half a star out of 5.
I would give it half a star out of 5.
Because I don't really believe in zeros.
And I would only recommend watching it if it's free.
Yeah, Redbox, I mean.
Well, if you have a free code for free rental, if you have a code for free rental on Redbox, I'd recommend it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I have.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye.